Hi, Morgan. Um, Thank you so much for doing this. Just tell us a little bit about. Do you remember what it was that led you to write this poem?
I wrote it during a session with someone who did poetry and actually did it competitively,
Yes.
who came in, and one of the things she told us to do was to write about something that we had strong emotions for,
Yes.
which is why I chose to write about this.
And I was fortunate enough to be at that session, as you know,
Yeah.
and I couldn't believe what you did in such a short period of time and so expressively. So I really appreciate. I guess the first thing is, can we get you to perform the poem and maybe start with your name, your full name, the title of the poem, and then go into it.
Okay, yeah, the poem doesn't really have a title because I sometimes don't get around to naming them, but yeah, so I can just go. Yeah.
Go for it.
So my name's Morgan, and this is the poem. I see a different world than you. I see a world that gets upset if I scream when someone touches me. I see a world that says things figuratively and gets upset when I don't understand what they mean and it's not fair. I live in a world that says I'm being difficult when I won't go in the cafeteria because it's too noisy. I live in a world where people say that it doesn't matter if the freaking bowl is a different color than the cup, even though it clearly matters and I can't eat dinner otherwise. You see, you did it too. I know it sounds strange that my foods can't touch and my pens have to stay in the right order, but I'm an autistic girl living in a neurotypical world, and I know, believe me, I know it's hard to understand, but maybe if you could stop trying to find out what went wrong to make me this way and instead try to help, maybe you'll see we're not that different, you and me.
Beautiful.
And that's the end of the poem.
That is a beautiful part, and you wrote that in about 15 minutes, didn't you?
Yeah.
Can you talk to me a little bit about like your experience at school? Because obviously you bring you're dealing with being on the spectrum, right?
Yeah.
And how does that I don't even know the question to ask you. How does that work for you? What types of things do you find that are different for you?
I think I have some trouble dealing with noise, especially. So when, say, a teacher doesn't have that great control over a classroom and things tend to get quite noisy, I don't deal with it well. It sort of overloads my brain and all I can concentrate on is the noise and I can't get any work done.
Okay.
Crowds also bother me, but that's sort of, yeah, so, and the cafeteria at schools are crowds and noise, which is why I don't tend to eat in them, and I usually eat in front of my locker or in a teacher's classroom or something like that.